Mohan,
Sir.
first name, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Mohan will be starting with a rapid fire round. I'll be throwing a few words at you, and you need to reply with the first thing that comes to your mind when
Sir.
you hear these words. All right.
Yes,
You're not allowed to think. In just 1 or 2
Yes,
seconds,
sir.
you need to reply.
Yes, sir.
The first is best country,
India.
best state,
Maharashtra.
best political party,
Biju Janata Dal.
Biju Janata Dal.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Indian politician.
PV Narasimha Rao.
Okay. Indian civil servant.
Amitabh Kant.
Okay. Star. Star. STAR.
Amitabh Bachchan.
Hero.
Gandhi.
Okay. End of humanity.
Not in near time.
Not in real time. You mentioned PV Narasimha Rao as Indian when I said Indian politician. Why
Yes.
exactly is that so?
Sir, his contribution to India in various spheres is what propelled me to.
Okay, so inspired by PV Narasimha Rao.
I do not say inspired by, but I have read about his contributions. So, having known them across the fields in economy, or be it in strategic sphere, be it in nuclear.
So what is the best thing you like about him?
So, it is economic policy.
It is like
Under his watch, the economic reforms have happened in the country. So that is
That's the
something
best
I like the most among the contributions of P.V.
All
Narasimha
right.
Rao.
When I said hero, you said Gandhi.
Sir.
When I said star, you said Amitabh Bachchan. What is the difference?
So by star, I couldn't make what exactly is expected. So I took it as some celebrity meme or some movie star. That is how I take.
Star could be anything.
Yes, sir. It could be anything. So I didn't get quite.
So that's the first thing that came to your mind as a celebrity.
I was confused, but since I'm not allowed to take the
Yeah,
name, so
yeah.
take.
So what is the difference between a celebrity as a star as a celebrity and hero?
Sir, as I understand, a star need not be hero, and a hero may not be star.
Hero may not be star. So is Gandhi not a star?
Gandhi is a star.
Okay.
There are many heroes at the grassroots level who do not achieve such fame and being a celebrity level, but they remain heroes at that level.
So can I say that you're inspired by Mahatma Gandhi?
Yes, sir.
Alright. So what is the best thing that you like about him?
The best thing is I'm amazed by the way he thought that through non-violence and peace that we could achieve such a gargantuan task of throwing British away from India. That is something that I even wonder now, that how could he think of such a move? How could he think of such a process?
Yeah, and when we compare the situation today with mob violence, at the drop of a hat, just if somebody is moving with cattle, those people are getting lynched and killed, and Gandhiji achieved independence through non-violence. Do you think now India has failed Gandhi? Do you agree with this?
Sir, I do not agree with it because India is very large. There are some incidents of mob violence and these sorts of things are happening, antisocial things are happening.
I think more than 200 people have died in the last couple of years owing to mob violence and all these sorts of issues, lynching and whatever, intolerance related deaths.
Yes, sir, I agree that there have been deaths, but there are many more Indians who are condemning that and who are protesting against that happening. Irrespective of the community to which they belong, they are opposing such moves. They are saying that in a democracy, mob justice is not accepted. So when as long as such voices are alive, I do not think that we can say that India as a whole has failed Gandhi.
Practically speaking, forget about the the cosmetics of things. Practically speaking, is Gandhi still relevant? Do we need Mahatma Gandhi?
Sir, he is relevant, but it depends on which context we are talking about. So if we take this non-violence as a tool to get the things done for the people as the measure, it is relevant even in cases where the government has some legitimacy. It wants to score some legitimacy at the national and international arena. For example, we can cite the India Against Corruption movement led by Anna Hazare. It was a non-violent movement, but because the legitimacy of the government was at stake at that point of time, they had to budge and they had to take the inputs of the organizers of that movement. So, say in an authoritarian government which is not very much worried about continuing legitimacy, in such case they may not budge to those non-violent movements, and they might actually repress it with much more violence.
Is the present government authoritarian?
Sir, I don't think it is authoritarian because the constitution, the system is democratic. So the government is for 5 years. There could be some tendencies because of the majority that it has got in the legislature. However, I believe that the system as a whole keeps everybody in check.
But it
because
is
there
the
are enough checks
same constitutional system which led to the rise of Hitler and fascists like Mussolini. They also had a constitutional system which then led to its collapse. So are we not on the same track?
So it all depends upon how we balance those tendencies. If there are such tendencies emerging some part of society, then how do we balance it? Because I believe that there are enough checks and balances, say it in judiciary, be it in the enlightened civil society that we have today, that is opposing even the mildest of such trends.
But if there is any dissent, people are being charged with sedition, if anti-CAA thing. Even young people, young students, they are being charged with sedition, and all sorts of dissent is being, it is brutally being tackled with. So,
Yes, sir.
how is it really making a difference?
Sir, I will again say that these are some incidents that have happened. It is not that it is everywhere that is the case, because it is sedition. The police comes under state list, and in some states it is happening. It is not the case in all the states. Number one, and also that we have judiciary. So judiciary has time and again has limited the scope of application of sedition, and it has always read down this provision of in the constitution.
Talking about judiciary, just yesterday in the newspaper there was this comment made by a senior judge, I think a group of judges, who said that judiciary should be more proactive when it comes to riot cases.
Sir.
Do you feel so judiciary should be more proactive? Because the state has completely failed, and just a few days back another senior judge of the Supreme Court had lambasted the Delhi police, saying that it was totally unprofessional when it came to Delhi riots. The way in which the police handled or not handled the riots. So do you agree that the judiciary should be proactive when it comes to communal or riots cases?
Sir, I believe that judiciary should be proactive because lives are at stake, and it is likely that the government will have some compulsions. It may or may not act. In such cases, judiciary can be the last recourse. And secondly, police may be waiting for some orders from higher ups. And in which case they did not get from the government, or that is from the political authorities. Judiciary can also give such directions to the police to act immediately. So
do you agree with the behavior of Hyderabad police, the fake encounter which happened? Do you agree that police should be more, just to improve their image, they should be doing such fake encounters probably? And they were rapists here. So should police be to improve their image do such things?
Sir, as the matter stands now, it is an alleged case of encounter. So whether it is fake or not is yet to be adjudged. It is under National Human Rights Commission and the judiciary as well. So I cannot completely assume that to be a fake encounter.
What is the meaning of the word violence? We talked about Gandhi and non-violence. What do you understand by the term violence?
Violence is causing harm to someone physically or mentally, psychologically. So it may be visible or may not be visible, but still it forms violence.
Basically, it is a negative tendency to cause harm.
Yes, sir.
Do you feel humans by nature they are violent?
To some extent, I agree with that statement, sir.
So how do we? Is there any scope of moving away from this inherent violence that humans have? or do we need? I mean, state in that case would be an instrument to control this inherent violence in humans, right?
Yes, sir.
So, is there any chance of removing this violence and probably then having no state at all, no need of state?
Sir, when I said there is some inherent nature of violence, I meant for sustaining itself, we depend on nature. We cut trees, we eat livestock. So that is also a form of violence. That is what I meant. But when we consider the violence against other people, a state is considered as a mechanism to undo that violent tendencies in the humans. But however, I believe that is a utopia to assume that there is no need for state and people will be non-violent in all cases, because it is very difficult to control human behavior, and we can only rely on human behavior in case there is no state or authority.
Chanakya,
Sir.
right? He is said to be Indian Machiavelli.
Yes, sir.
Or is it the right way to describe Chanakya?
Sir, I do not think so, sir, because Chanakya was much ahead in time and space compared to Machiavelli. Machiavelli is a medieval scholar.
So Machiavelli we should say as
Italian Chanakya.
So do you agree with Chanakya's way of managing the state? He was, I mean, Machiavelli is a term which is unprincipled, unethical.
Yes, sir.
Right?
Yes,
on those negative lines I'm saying. Do you agree with Chanakya's assessment of the management of the state?
Sir, the fundamental tenet of Chanakya's principles is monarchy. So, as a person who was born and brought up in democracy, I cannot accept and I cannot even think of being in a monarchy or authoritarian regime. And secondly, he considers a paternalistic state, where state knows what is good of the people. While he talks about welfare of the people as objective of king, he assumes that state knows everything what is good for the people, which need not be the case. And here we are in the liberal era where we are talking about liberties and freedoms and rights of individuals. So therefore, I do not agree with that particular view of his.
You don't agree. Actually, Mohan, right?
Sir.
Mohan. I don't agree with most of the answers that you have said.
Sir.
Sorry about that, but I'm not really happy. And I see in your DAF also, you have not cleared any of the examinations so far. You've taken multiple examinations. So I really don't think you are a good fit in the civil services. We should be selected. I don't think so.
Sir.
However, I want to grant you one wish. Anything it could be. What would be that wish?
I want to be selected this time.
You want to be selected?
Yes, sir.
Okay, Mohan.
Sir.
So you have studied in Sastra University.
Yes, sir.
Name one Indian Sastra.
Arthashastra.
Arthashastra. Okay. I have seen for quite long time in all the southern states, filmsters, they come to politics.
Yes, sir.
Celebrities particularly.
Yes.
Why this trend is so?
So films are so popular that they tend to eulogize those heroes, that make them demigod status, they give them demigod status, and that unfortunately carries on to the public sphere as well. They do not separately see what the person is offering as a politician, as a leader, what he is proposing, or what his on-screen characters are. So there is an unfortunate continuum between the two spheres. So they get that in political sphere, they get to power.
That is how they are.
That is how they
have been coming to politics.
Most of them are coming to politics inspired by that trend.
So there is a philosopher, German philosopher.
Sir.
He talked about charismatic, personalities or charisma. Who's that German philosopher?
Max Weber.
Max Weber. And do you see any kind of connection that he talked about those charismatic thing, and the personalities that come into politics in South?
Yes, sir. Charisma is the common thing.
What is that charisma particularly in that Max Weber talked about that you can relate to these personalities in South?
The popularity of the person.
Popularity of
the person. So it can happen by someone when in politics people get be impressed by him or her, and as well as it can be through movies, through other spheres. So this is the second thing is happening in South India.
So we can very well relate that Max Weber's charisma to the rise of film personalities in South.
Yes, sir.
You can.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Great. I was trying to find out, and who's the philosopher king that Plato talked about?
So
He
yes.
talked about philosopher king.
Yes, sir.
Who's that philosopher king? How do we define that philosopher king?
So he has given in his theory an elaborate education system, at the end of which there would be some candidates for to hold this post of philosopher king.
So yeah, does it mean that only philosophers could be kings?
In his view, yes, sir. Those who passed the 3 levels of education system that he has developed in Republic, so he thinks that they will be the only people who can lead the government, lead the state in a better way. That is,
They should be only philosopher kings.
yes, sir. They should be only philosopher kings. Yes.
Now we are talking about blue dot economy.
Sir.
Are you aware about this?
Blue dot.
Huh.
I'm sorry, sir. I'm not aware.
What is Quad initiative?
What is
Quad. QUAD.
Quad?
Quad.
Quad is a grouping which comprises of India, US, Australia, and Japan. It is seen as a strategic counter to China in the Indo-Pacific region. While there was no explicit statement made by the grouping,
right. But it is
seen as a
the inner
strategy.
motive is that.
Yes, sir.
So we have seen China is expanding, like anything.
Yes, sir.
Like BRI, you are aware, CPEC,
Yes, sir.
all that.
Yes, sir.
20 years back, if we look at China, till the death of even Deng Xiaoping,
Yes,
the great legendary leader, China was not doing that. Even China was much more powerful than today. Do you agree?
Sir, I believe China is more powerful today than in that period.
Why China has become more powerful today? What is the main reason?
So today's power is underlaid by this rise of economic power of China. So by economic development, it has got hold of many other countries, but many other countries are now dependent on China, as can be seen from the coronavirus outbreak. It has crippled the total global supply chains. So that is how the dependency of China, and as an economic power, it contributed to its rise as a military power. So therefore, there is both soft and hard powers at play in present day China compared to those period of 1970s or earlier.
Okay, so those days it was not there, but today China has
More global power. It is becoming more global power than a regional power. It is becoming global power over time.
So in that way, China is emerged a lot, right? We agree on that. So do we need to be scared about China being the closest neighbor?
Sir, we need not be scared. We have our own strengths, but we need to be conscious of what China is doing. What are the developments internally and externally? What are its motives? What are its strategic aims? Those we need to be conscious about, and we need to see where we fit in that entire puzzle of China. So accordingly, we should calibrate our responses.
So we should be aware about that.
Yes, sir. We should be aware.
Right. And neighborhood, we have a country called Pakistan.
Yes, sir.
And we used to be a part once.
Yes, sir.
So we cannot say they are enemies. They are part once. Though Pakistan is very conservative a country, though there are many other forces are there in Pakistan, but Pakistani media is very strong. I personally believe. Can you name any 1 or 2 newspapers of Pakistan? Have you ever gone down to find out anything in Pakistan? We have newspapers like Hindu, Times of India, right? So is there any good newspaper in Pakistan, big newspaper?
I'm sorry, sir. I'm not aware of that. I read one name, but I'm not able to recall. There is
Anyway, you can read, not a problem. There is a talk about club diplomacy today. Club, C-L-U-B.
Club diplomacy.
Have you heard about it?
No, sir. I have not.
No. Donald Trump has come to India and he has gone.
Yes, sir.
And many people say Donald Trump is a pakka businessman, true businessman, he's not a politician.
Yes,
He
sir.
wants deals.
Yes, sir.
But at the fag end of his visit, I can only see he has signed 3 billion plus some deal.
Yes, yes, sir.
For an American president, it is nothing. Why? For an American president,
Yes, yes.
who's you can say first citizen of the world,
Yes, sir.
most powerful leader on this earth, whether people agree or not, that's a fact, right?
Yes, sir.
So $3+ billion is nothing. He could have sent his foreign secretary to sign or economic, secretary to sign. Why so less? What do you think?
Sir, number one, it is a way to reduce the existing trade deficit for US vis-a-vis India, which is to the tune of $20 to $25 billion. So that will be an offset. The $3 billion purchases that we are making will be an offset in that trade regard. and secondly, that will showcase his intention, that which he promised during his campaign earlier, that he wants to bring down the trade deficit of US as part of America First policy, and he believes and he wants to show to his domestic audience that there are no free lunches. And secondly, there is a significant Indian diaspora in USA, which will be a vital voter base for him in the coming general election. So that is also a calculation which I think is part of his visit in recent times to India. Sir.
And the neighborhood, beyond all these problems,
Sir.
we are not been able to develop good relations with three countries. One is Sri Lanka,
Sir.
one is Nepal, and the third one is Maldives.
Sir.
Tell me why? Because Pakistan, we have a direct, enmity.
Yes.
We know. China, it's quite big. We cannot compare with China. Bhutan, it's a peaceful border.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
And Bangladesh is okay for now.
Yes.
Right. With Sheikh Hasina government. But with Nepal, we have constant problem. Just highlight one problem with Nepal. What problem we have?
So there is no bipartisan consensus over relations with India in Nepal. So when one party is in power, the party of Nepali Congress, so then they were more inclined towards India. And when the communist parties rise, then there is more inclination towards China. So therefore that bipartisan consensus is missing.
That is it with Nepal. What problem we have with Maldives?
I again give the same factor, sir, because when previously there was Abdullah Yamin's government, in that government there was more tilt towards China vis-a-vis India, and again now Maldivian Democratic Party has come to power, Ibu Soli. Under him there is a trial to rebalance that tilt.
So that means we have no problem with Maldives now.
They are trying to rebalance the tilt. They have said that India is our first preference.
Priority.
Yes, sir, first priority.
And with Sri Lanka, what is it?
Sri Lanka also, it is a similar case where the current government of Rajapaksas, they have in the previous tenure they have tilted the Sri Lanka's diplomatic relations and strategic relations in favor of China. The effects of which are being felt even today in Sri Lanka.
So that means China is the problem.
China is definitely a problem. It is trying to incur into various neighbors of India as part of its so-called string of pearls policy. However, we need to develop such bipartisan consensus over relations with India. For instance, as you mentioned in Bhutan, whichever party is in power, they are in favor of deepening relations with India, which is not the case in some neighbors.
These countries.
Yes,
Right. And recently we have seen that, not recently, it has become a global chaos, this coronavirus.
Sir.
Who is taking a lot of initiatives? Right, who? Is
WHO. Yes, sir.
And it has been, urging people, all the governments, we should be careful and all.
Yes, sir.
And who's the, Director General of WHO? He has been coming in channels, newspapers all the time.
I'm sorry, sir, I cannot recall the name.
Do you think coronavirus is a threat for India?
Yes, sir, I think it is a threat.
Only 34 people are infected. No one has died so far. Has anyone died?
No one has died, officially no one has died. And
So why should we care?
Because it indirectly impacts us. Livelihoods are impacted, not just lives, because the trade is impacted, our exports are impacted, and our productions are impacted because the global supply chains, as part of global supply chains, were import dependent from China. So raw materials and intermediate goods are being impacted, supply. Therefore, the economic activity, which is already, we're already glaring at slowdown, that adds to the decelerating economic activity in turn to livelihood.
That is how it should be.
Yes, sir.
Which philosopher you like most? Because you have studied political science.
Sir.
Did you like any one of them?
So Gandhi I have liked.
Gandhi.
Yes, sir.
Why?
His contribution in various places. He has his own economic model, he has his own political model, he has his way of tackling, as I said earlier, non-violence as we discussed, his way of approaching to various problems in society, that he has such a comprehensive view of how a nation should be. It is not just polity, it is not just economy, he has such a comprehensive view. That is something that I liked.
Really liked.
Yes.
Good, thank you.
Krishna Mohan or Mohan Krishna?
Mohan Krishna, sir.
Mohan Krishna.
Sir.
Couple of interesting thing I am finding here. You love collecting interesting song lyrics and dialogues from Telugu movie.
Yes, sir.
One dialogue from Telugu movie, please.
And you have to say it like it was said in the movie.
Okay, whatever way.
Right,
So
go
tell me
ahead.
the dialogue in Telugu and then in English.
సో రక్తం పారని కండలు కరగని గుండెలు పగలని విజయకాంక్ష నీ శ్వాస అయితే ఆ ఊపిరి నాపుట ఎవరితరం నీ ధైర్యం నీ ధ్యేయం నీ హక్కే నీ సైన్యం ఆ సైన్యమే నీ తోడుంటే గెలుపెప్పుడు నీ సొంతం. So it is a motivational dialogue which says that whether the blood flow or whether you were I'm not even if the heart breaks, you should not stop. And if that determination is yours, then success will be yours.
Okay.
So, but the intensity is lost when I translated it.
Never mind.
That's okay.
Never
We
mind.
have understood that.
You got another hobby of writing and writing emails to editors, authors, and government functionaries.
Sir,
So, which all government functionaries have you emailed?
sir, I have written to secretaries in government of Andhra Pradesh and even government of India.
About what?
So, for instance, one instance is when I have studied in Tamil Nadu, where I have observed that in +1 and +2 standards, C and C++ are made mandatory there. So, when I went for BTech, I was a novice to those computer languages, whereas the students of Tamil Nadu, they were accustomed to it. That gave them an advantage in the software field during job time and all. So, that is what I have observed, and I thought that should be the case even in Andhra Pradesh and at the pan India level. So, because they have two different syllabuses, so I have requested both Education Secretary of India as well as the then existing Secretary of Andhra Pradesh that they should be made part of curriculum so that students will learn basic coding irrespective of the stream or career they choose.
Did you get any response?
So, I got a response from Andhra Pradesh government that they will be considering that suggestion.
Okay. Now that you're saying this, why not having a one type of education system all across the country, CBSE or ICSE? Why should there be a state board?
Sir, because India is a diverse country and we have different histories for different states and cultures. So, therefore, it is important for us to know our local cultures as well as the Indian culture, Indian history, local history, Indian geography, local geography. It's such a diverse country, geographically, culturally, and every sort of diversity is seen. Therefore, I believe that we need to know more. There cannot be one syllabus for whole of India from west to east and north to south. There have to be local customization.
Now that you love writing emails, I would like you to write 3 emails.
So,
The first email that you have to write to Baba Saheb Bhim Rao Ambedkar,
sir.
and you would be discussing about the democracy in India in current situation. Take 2 minutes time, think about it, and tell me what exactly will you write.
You want to a pen and paper?
No, sir, I can. Can I start, sir?
Yeah, sure.
So, the first thing would be decentralization, decentralization of democracy. Though we have 73rd and 74th amendments, many of the important provisions are optional in that, so that they have not been implemented. So, I would say that making many of them mandatory would really deepen the democracy in the country to the third tier of the government and much closer to the people based on the principle of subsidiarity. The second thing would be strengthening the federal axis. We still have more unitary tendencies in our constitution. For instance, the states do not have a say in constitutional amendment. They cannot initiate a constitutional amendment, in which cases the center is disproportionately placed higher, which to some extent is causing imbalances to the federalism. And then there are institutions like institution of governor, wherein states do not have a say and they cannot remove the governor. Like there is the impeachment process for president at the union level, which is not the case at the state level. So there are some imbalances in the federal axis which need to be taken care of.
Okay. Now, the second email that I would like you to write to Chief Justice of India about the status of current judicial delivery system in India.
Sure. Firstly, at the judiciary level, I would suggest that they should make more use of technology to properly schedule the cases and to dispose them off at the earliest possible. And secondly, there is a need to have fast track courts for certain cases like the cases involving the representatives of people, because they have a larger impact on society. And I would also suggest the CJI to nudge the government so as to have a comprehensive review of archaic laws, because there are many conflicting laws, there are many conflicting provisions, there is some ambiguity which is causing so much judicial delay, and even it is causing more litigation. That is one thing that I would ask for. And I would also suggest that he should champion the criminal justice reforms that have been long pending in the country, because the police system, the investigation and the prosecution process are all not to the extent, because our conviction, as a result, our conviction rates are very low. So that is there's a few things that I would write to the CJI.
Right. The third and the last email that I would like you to write to our NSA, Mr. Ajit Doval,
Sir.
about riot in Delhi
Sir.
due to CAA protest.
Sir.
Or maybe just write an email about protest against CAA in Delhi.
Sir, the first thing is there are pro-CAA and anti-CAA movements going on. So regarding anti-CAA movements, I would write that the government should come forward and allay the fears of the people who are sitting in the anti-CAA protests. They should address their concerns. And secondly, sir, the politicians themselves should refrain from instigating these communal tensions through provocative speeches and hate speeches. That is something that I would suggest, because they should be booked immediately under the available sections under IPC for hate speech. So that is something that I would write. And there is a need to further deepen the intelligence network of the police, so that they will be able to gauge that some sort of riots are going to happen, some communal violence is about to happen, there is already a flare-up, that this should not be escalated to that level. And fourthly, there should be considerable autonomy for a metropolitan like Delhi. For the Commissioner of Police, there should be considerable autonomy for them to take action without waiting for the political representatives to give some orders.
Okay, my last question.
Sir.
Do we stand a chance to match China's might? If yes, how?
So yes, we have a chance to match China's might, and in my opinion, we should focus internally at this point of time. We should focus on capitalizing on human capital. We should invest in education, healthcare, and skill development, so as to reap the demographic dividend we have right now. So as a result, economic activity will be developed, and we will be an economic power, and economic power in turn gives us, it can boost our military power.
No, those are policy matters. It will take ages. Quantifiable measures, very concrete. How? You have to bring. First, you are saying that we can match China's might. So that means we will have to bring industries from China to India.
Sorry, sir.
We will have to bring those industries or the companies who have invested in China to India. How to do it?
Sir, by promoting ease of doing business within the country.
How? Be very specific.
Yes, sir. By boosting our investment in infrastructure so that the logistic cost comes down, and we have the advantage of young labor and low labor wages. We have to take advantage of that, and by bringing down the logistic cost, we can improve the export competitiveness of India. Therefore, we can nudge the countries to come to India vis-a-vis China, which is showing increasing costs.
Okay, Mohan.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
One thing that I would like to suggest. We had asked a couple of questions to him.
Sir.
We didn't repeat those questions to you.
Sir.
That was our deliberate attempt because we had given some break.
Yes,
so we decided not to ask those questions.
Yes,
but that does not mean that those questions are not relevant for you.
Yes,
those are extremely relevant for you.
Sir.
So have a discussion. Whatever I asked you, we asked you.
Yes, sir.
And whatever we asked to the other guy.
Yes, sir.
Discuss all those questions because that will give a complete fair idea to both of you.
Yes, sir.
Because this is not a one-to-one competition.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Mains has got competition, one-to-one competition, not interview.
Yes.
Interview is like individual. So you are passing doesn't mean that he's going to fail.
Yes, sir.
Mains may it does happen.
Yes, sir.
One guy is scoring marks means other is going to lose
Yes, sir.
because it is comparison.
Yes.
Whose answer is the best answer? Interview may it doesn't happen that way. Interview is like yours answer can be very good and mine can also be a very good answer. So two guys answering the same question in a different way can get the same marks,
Sir.
and two guys answering the same question in the same way can still get a different marks, right?
Yes, sir.
Because the way you are answering
Yes, sir.
is very important. Same guy, same question, same answer, different marks.
Yes, sir.
Same question, different answer, same marks. That also can happen because this is interview, so you got to discuss.
Sir.
So, Mohan, first of all, don't take to heart here when I said I didn't like your answers. That was just to test one particular aspect. You were very good in the way you were contemplating your answers, you were listening to the question and then you were delivering, you were thinking over it and then delivering. That was good. If I start with the rapid fire thing, I asked best state, best country, India, okay. Best state, you said Maharashtra. Now, there could be follow-up questions here because what is the parameter through which you have selected Maharashtra as the best state? Definitely, you should not say culture is the parameter because every state is proud of its own culture.
Yes.
So, you should have very objective criteria of why you think Maharashtra is the best state. The good thing is that, one of the questions could be you have not chosen Maharashtra as your service preference. If it is the best state, why not? If you think administratively to become an IS officer, this is the best state, then why not to serve in Maharashtra? These could attract follow-up questions.
Sure, sir.
Best political party, you are giving me a name, BJD.
Sir.
Political neutrality goes for a 6 in this case, right? This was to test your political neutrality. If I'm asking best political party, I don't expect you to give me a name of any
Yes.
party. Then, we tried to capture you in this hero Gandhi, and when sir asked who is your favorite philosopher, you said Gandhi. I was waiting for what your reply would be here, and you did a good job.
That's
Had you
it.
said anything else, then integrity wise, mein gadbad,
Yes, matching. Very good.
फंस जाते. I am pretty doubtful about your answer when you said humans are inherently violent. This shows a negative bias. You are not trusting. That means humans are inherently positive here. You see the relation between a parent and a child. You see the relation between the truest form of relation is love, and love is positive. If we talk about politics, those are all external things. But if I say the inherent thing is always positive. It is love. It is trust, right? So I don't want a person who is negatively biased in administration. Otherwise, if anything happens, you will be looking at it from a viewpoint which is distrusting of maybe फिर communal issues आ सकते हैं, कुछ भी आ सकते हैं. So you are, I mean, really think over this. Yeah.
As I actually explained later, I have thought it in a philosophical sense that we are dependent on environment, we are cutting trees, we are eating livestock. So that way I took violence. I haven't taken it as against humans versus humans.
Yeah, I mean, there could be then follow-up questions in a way. I mean, you could be given a case study in which you are made a administrator and then how you look at it, right? Next is, judiciary, should it be proactive in riot cases? This again, I found the answer to be not so good, because if you are saying judiciary should be proactive, you are saying that administration is not capable of doing its job.
Sure.
Right? So you want judiciary to come in to fill in the void which administration is not able to justify.
Right, sir.
And you are aspiring for a job like that.
Yes, sir.
So this is
Yes,
again
sir.
gadbad.
Yes, sir.
One more thing, like I found it a bit not so good when I said I don't want to select you. As a 40-year-old person with 4 decades of experience, I am saying that I don't want to select you, but I want to grant you one wish. You said you want to get selected. This is a compromise of integrity. You are either saying to me that my judgment is not correct, your opinion is not correct. So, I mean, this is on the front of integrity. When I am saying that I don't want to select you, one wish could be, if it could be anything, maybe you could say, if I can get my weaknesses which I can improve, or I would like to learn from you how to, I mean, something else other than what I don't want to do. You are wanting me to do something which I don't want to do, right? So this is a integrity issue, problem. You were thinking too much in questions which don't require thinking. For example, when sir asked, is coronavirus a threat for India? It's not a question which requires contemplation. Direct answer should be there, right? Similarly, when sir asked you to ask which government functionaries have you emailed, then again you were thinking for 2 seconds and then you replied. These are quick answers which need to be given. Lastly, you should listen to the question fully and then answer. Why I am saying is that when sir asked you to give 3 emails to 3 different people, sir asked you to talk about the status of Indian democracy, the status of judiciary, but your
that's
reply...
fine. That's fine. I'm okay with it.
Okay. Right.
Yes. I have found that you have studied the subject very well, though you are basically an engineer, and political science is a very vast subject, so you have studied very well. But only my suggestion would be, neighborhood thing. If you accept, the China factor that is in Nepal, as well as in Maldives, as well as in Sri Lanka, all these places China factor is there, but we have many other things which is bothering us, and these countries are not liking us.
Yes, sir.
Traditional theory, because India plays always a big brotherhood kind of a thing.
Yes, sir.
These leaders do not like. China never asks for anything. China wants, I will give you money, you give me place, I will develop, and then whatever benefit, they will definitely realize what is the money behind the story.
Yes,
that's a different thing. So this kind of a big brotherhood attitude, India has been playing for a long time. So while talking about this, you should be a bit careful. It is not only about China that they are taking measures
When
to.
you're saying big brotherhood, always use the word alleged.
Yes.
You should not say
It should
directly.
not be definite. That India has got, Indian foreign policy has got big brotherhood. Say alleged big brotherhood.
They have been
Because
complaining.
That's what they have been complaining. We have not accepted. We are saying
Yes, sir.
neighbors first.
Right.
But unfortunately, it is turned out to be that way.
Something else. So that is one. And talking about China, when we say China, is coming in that way, and Deng Xiaoping era, and now, definitely your point is correct. Today they have become an economic might. By 2050 they might cross even US, or 2030 in fact. That's a fact. But what is their strength throughout, if we look at, starting from Mao to this, is only single party, country. No country has survived with one party. That is their strength. You need to go and approach only one person in Beijing, it's done. Up till Wuhan, whatever it is, right? In India, it doesn't happen. Mamata Banerjee will oppose.
Yes, sir.
Somewhere you go, Naveen Patnaik will say, no, I don't agree.
Yes,
That can happen. That is the only strength with China. All global investors, they look, beyond low skill labor, their availability of space. There are many countries lying vacant. They should have gone, but here only one person needs permission.
Yes.
He will see Jinping says yes, go. Nobody will question. That is the biggest advantage of China. There are many other disadvantages. We should highlight that because Communist Party ruled China. China doesn't rule Communist Party. That is the only thing they have. That is how we should salute them, learn a bit of things. Rest I have found you very good, but this club diplomacy kind of things are very new concept coming up. The way Donald Trump has been promoting things. So you should be a bit careful about that, because since you have political
Yes,
science.
yes.
But by the time I think you go for interview, since it will be when is the interview?
1st April, sir.
This will be almost by 3rd or 4th it is getting over.
Yes.
So you will be getting a lot of other questions. But definitely I would love that you should brush up that core concepts. Rest I found you a comfortable candidate. For me, no problem. Yeah.
I asked you a question related to, because your extracurricular activity and interest,
Sir.
Something really new thing.
Sir.
Now there is a positive, there is a negative about it. Positive, that you think about issues, and you have got you're active, you're an active guy. The negative, you might be a reactionary guy,
Sir.
right? So they would like to test you. So this is something that actually can happen to you in the interview.
Sir.
They might ask you, write an email to somebody. Well, as far as these 3 questions are concerned, things were fine.
Sir.
You need to think about a couple of more questions,
Sir.
especially issues related to the current geopolitical, economic, social, what do you call flare points. Prepare. Why I'm saying this? Because very interesting. They'll say, write an email. Good thing. Tell them that I'll take time. Don't just start.
Yes, sir.
And then first you need to, whenever you're writing an email, the way you said that you had written an email, you first set the context.
Sir.
So when you're writing an email to somebody, you'll be first
Yes.
setting the context, right?
Yes, sir.
So you'll be telling why what exactly has promoted you to write an email. You'll write one line about that.
Yes, sir.
Prepare about it. This is going to happen.
Yes.
I mean, usually we don't ask, we don't feel that whatever question we are asking here would be repeated in the interview.
Yes, sir.
We just we use questions as a tool to get the weakness out of you. But this is something I actually am anticipating that
Yes,
you might get this kind of question. Write an email immediately.
Yes, sir.
I give you 2 minutes. So prepare about it.
Yes, sir.
What all will you prepare? Issues related to your state,
Sir.
which we have not asked. Issues related to current economic situation of the country.
Sir.
Issues related to Indian foreign policy. Issues related to democracy, its functioning. Issues related to functioning of judiciary. Issues related to a divide in society. Issues related to social evils in our country.
Sir.
Issues related to the formation of nation and the state. India's stand in the world order. Whatever is the general instruction for candidates who are preparing for interview,
Sir.
those issues should be prepared in an email form,
Yes, sir.
right?
Yes, sir.
Others would be preparing for a question answer form.
Sir.
You will have to prepare as an email form,
Yes, sir.
because they might ask you, okay, geopolitical situation, write an email to your foreign secretary. So you will be first telling that these are the situation. Now when I asked you about can India match China economic might, see, giving those mains type of answer won't work. It should be very much quantifiable, very much exact. Their daily wage is much higher than India's. So once we do one thing, that is ease of business and some infrastructure development through sales and all, we can bring those companies to India.
Sir.
Where exactly is the market?
Sir.
So the moment you realize the market, the raw material position, I mean, you need to first try to understand, whenever you are talking about China, you'll invariably be talking about India's might and India's opportunity. So where is the raw material, where is the market, and why India is more competitive, or why India can be more competitive. These are the couple of things that you need to prepare about, right?
Sure, sir.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you, sir.